Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. I'm Kim and I run Rainy Day Rags. It's my online fashion and lifestyle presence. I make YouTube videos about fashion or travel vlogs or fun things I'm doing around town. And I also have an Instagram where you can see how I style all of the clothing I show you. I am going to Portugal soon, so if travel vlogs are something you enjoy or you just want to see like the clothes I show you in my day-to-day life in Portugal and kind of all those kind of adventures, please do consider subscribing to my channel, leave a comment. But I really enjoy interacting with all of you, and if you have tips for Portugal, do let me know. In today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a 6-month handbag review. About 6 months ago, I purchased a Polène bag. I purchased the Cyme Tisse. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so sorry if I'm butchering it. But anyway, the Cyme is one of their classic bag styles, and the Tisse is kind of a specialty version of it. This is the bag right here. I did do a first impressions video and unboxing, which I will link above for you. If you're interested, feel free to check that out. I would also say peruse the comment section because there were a number of useful questions asked in there, and I did try and answer as many of those questions as I could. Some of the questions that were asked I can answer in this video because I've now had a chance to use the handbag. Firstly, I do have one other Polene handbag. I have the Polene Mini Uni, and I love that bag. It's really, really popular. If you don't know what it is, here's a picture of it. But it's probably Polene's most recognizable bag. They have a bunch of other styles, and what I really like about Polene is that they are a very structured style bag. They have really interesting shapes, and they're also really high quality at a very reasonable price. This one was $370 American. That did include taxes and any kind of import fees. There is a full leather version of this bag that comes in a number of different colors, mostly neutrals. Polene is primarily, their color palette is primarily neutral and kind of a minimalist style. So the main difference in this one is that this is a cotton twill, and then this is full calf leather, versus the other bag is full leather. The other difference is that the full leather bag comes with an interior pouch, like the one that would clip in or sit inside the bag. You could put your makeup and stuff or keys into it. This bag, for whatever reason, does not come with a pouch, and I would say that that is probably my first strike against it. I don't carry a ton of small things with me in my day-to-day, but my keys and it would be nice to have a lipstick or some headphones, things like that. This bag doesn't have any interior compartments. It's just a wide open thing. This is it. This is the inside. So there is nothing that they provide for you where you can put sort of smaller items that might get lost or jumbled around, or that you need easy access to. So that's a real shame on this one, especially for only a $20 difference. One of the comments in my first impressions was it's a beautiful bag, but only $20 difference for the full leather version, and the full leather version comes with a pouch. She was go with the full leather version. I like them, but I don't like them as much as I like this style, so I did keep this bag, but I get her point. So yeah, like I said, they do a bunch of neutral colors. Polene's palette is primarily neutral. That's something that I'm getting into more and more, especially browns and beiges. I have been primarily a black is my neutral kind of a girl, and then I tend to have more colorful clothing. But in the last year or two, probably because it's trending, but also because I think it's just been a nice way to lighten up my color palette, I have started incorporating a lot more whites and creams and beiges, and this was part of that. So what I love about the beige bag and kind of the white bag is that, because again my clothing is very colorful, I'll show you some examples of how I styled it. I wear fuchsia pants and green skirts, and I like blues and all sorts of reds and things like that. So if I had gotten the burgundy color of this or something like that, it just would have been a little harder to style and wear. And I did ask one of my friends, hey, what do you think of this more cognac colored dark bag or the burgundy? And she's like, I just think that this beige color is a lot more youthful and kind of the moment. I will say that this has just been a much easier bag to style than I think the black or the like burgundy one would have been. So I'm really happy that I went with the beige. I just think it's the easiest in terms of styling. And again, I prefer the cotton contrast over the full leather. Also, apparently the full leather one is much heavier. Like this is actually a fairly light bag, and I do fill it very full, so it does get heavy, but only because of what I put in it, not because this bag is heavy. This is like a fairly light bag. In terms of its aesthetic in and of itself, I am a fan of a structured bag. I did a 2022 handbag collection, I believe. So I will again link that, and you can see all the different bags I have if that's interesting to you. But what you'll definitely notice if you do watch that video is I like a structured bag. I love architectural lines and I love interesting shapes in my bags. So that is one reason that the Polène bags really appeal to me. They are very structured, very design forward, very architectural in their like style. So this bag is really cool in that it can become more of this basket style where it extends fully, and then you've got this like very much a basket vibe going on, which is how the website described it. Or, and this is the way that I tend to prefer wearing it, you can close these up and you can create this more pinched in look, which I also like. This is kind of how I tend to wear it. Get this in here so you can see this properly. But this is how I tend to wear it, in this more pulled in style. I like the way that this looks a bit more. I find that the fully like extended, it feels a little overwhelming on the body sometimes. I think it can look cool, and I definitely appreciate the option to do that because I definitely can fill out all of that space sometimes if I'm carrying a lot in a day. But if I'm just carrying kind of a normal amount, like my laptop and maybe my wallet and like some headphones and, you know, like just smaller stuff, then this is great because I can close it up and it doesn't take up so much space, and it just keeps things a little bit more secure. So I really like this style and structure and the versatility of this bag, and that's probably like the colorway, the fabric section, and then just the overall structure and style of the bag. That's what made me like shout when I came out, when they launched this bag. I like nearly shouted at my computer screen. I was like, take my money. I just love this bag. So I'm really happy in terms of style. Like for me, this bag, style, color, materials, like it's a 10 out of 10. I love it, but that is very much my aesthetic. If you're somebody who likes a slouchy bag, this is not for you. I don't even think you would be interested in it in the first place, but like this is just a highly structured bag. In terms of, like I said already, the like I guess usability or organizational structure of the bag, I think that is one where they do fall down and it doesn't really work for everybody. Like I said, there's no internal pockets or anything like that. There's no pouch that can connect that you can hold like your small items in. So while that can work really well for someone like me who tends to load a lot of things in there and I need to be able to Tetris and move stuff around, like any kind of internal divider, that wouldn't work for me. This bag would carry a lot less stuff than it does. So because it's so open, it can fit so much stuff and move and adjust in the way that your things need to. So I like that there's no internal divider, but that is me. It's not necessarily for everyone else. And I would also say, again, the lack of the pouch is a real negative for my lifestyle, as well as anybody who carries the bag. Like, you need a space to put your small items. And so I would give it, in terms of like interior organization, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10, which is pretty still good. But again, it's a tote bag, so it's meant to be sort of a place where you can throw everything in there. I will say that because it is an oddly shaped bag, you're not going to find any kind of organizers that you can put in there. Like I think like the Neverfull or a bunch of other kind of more like shopper tote bags, you can often get on Etsy an insert or some kind of like thing that will allow you to organize them. This bag is not going to have options like that on Etsy. So yeah, if you're somebody who's really into interior organization of your bag, probably not great for you, but if you're like me and you don't need that kind of thing and you like having the flexibility of being able to put things wherever, then this is a great one. But I will say I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10, again, just because that pouch is missing, and that's a big one for me, so I'm gonna knock it down there. Otherwise, it's perfect for my life. Also, these do fasten pretty securely, but if you are somebody who's concerned about having some kind of interior zip or something like that, again, this just like, that's not how this bag is gonna work. But I do feel like when it's closed up and underneath my arm, it's pretty secure, and I'm not too concerned about people being able to get in there. Sorry, camera died. Okay, I think I was just trying to say durability. So one of the questions I got in my unboxing video was how durable is the canvas? Obviously I hadn't used it yet, so I didn't really know. 6 months in, I would say this is a very like hard, like it wears well, okay? So I haven't had any major issues. I think I've seen a few like little dirt sections that I've tried to wipe off and things like that, but I really haven't like noticed any major issues with it picking up dirt. I am more cautious with this bag than I am with all my other bags because of the material. So I do try and like be very cognizant of where I place it. I do try and look it over when I get home and like wipe off any dirt if I see it as soon as I can. I will say one of the things I need to do yet, but I haven't done, is to find a protecting spray. I believe Polene says that they do use a protecting like cover on it, like the material, but they do say like, hey, you should, you know, it's cotton and it's white, so be aware. So I think you could maybe use something like Scotch Guard, and that might help. But I also think if you do get something on it and you really are struggling to get it off, I would imagine that you could take it into a dry cleaners and that they would be able to help you with that. I haven't done that yet, but that would be my best guess. So I'm happy with the canvas and the way that that's wearing, or the cotton and the way that that's wearing. I haven't noticed any issues on the leather. That has been totally fine. I also, with my other Polene leather goods, like no issues. I think their leather is really high quality, so very happy with that. The one thing I have noticed an issue with in terms of quality and durability is one of these, I think it's this one, this little, you know, peg that comes out here that you connect your stuff to and uses to secure it. They're pretty durable, like you can pull on them pretty hard and stuff like that, but I did notice that this actually came out of the hole it's punched through, and I was like, what the crap? And it was still connected over here, thank goodness, or I would have lost this piece. But I feel like there's gotta be a way for them to do more to protect it. Maybe there should be like a little like circle around here or something, but it came out, and that would have been a real bummer. I'm sure that if I had contacted Polene, they would have done something to help fix that. I have not had a lot of experience with their customer service, but they just seem like the kind of company that would take that very seriously. But yeah, so I do tend to now just try and be a little bit more cognizant when I'm unhooking this or like connecting them, just because this has come out, and that was a little bit disappointing to me. I feel like there's more that could be done to ensure that these pieces are really well like stuck in. I don't craft handbags, so I don't know, but I just feel like, yeah, maybe that's one area where this bag in particular, that's kind of where your issues are gonna come in, is this little like closing knobby thingy. But other than that, like it's just a magnetic closure, and that does really well. All of the straps are really good, nicely sewn in, no issues with the seams or anything like that. And yeah, the interior has held up quite well, despite me being pretty brutal to it actually. Like, I'm careful with the outside, but I don't really do so much worrying about the inside, and it has done very well. And the handles have kept their shape really well. Stitching is doing good. I have definitely used this at minimum 20 times since I bought it, probably closer to 30 or 40 times. And it's just held up pretty well. So for 6 months of use, I am happy with that. And I will say, again, my Polene Mini Un has held up very well after 2 years of pretty solid use. So I would say Polene's materials and the quality of their bags are high. I am gonna knock this down to like a 7.5 out of 10 for durability because of the issue I had with this knob. So yeah, so what have I covered? I've covered why I liked it, like I love the style of it, the usefulness of it, the durability of it. Oh, really quickly, in case anybody is curious about dimensions. So on the website, it says it's in centimeters. It says 53 by 32, which I'm assuming is this, by 10.5, which I think is like opening. What that translates to in inches, as I looked up to, is about 20, almost 21 inches across, I think, like this way. And then it's about, I think, 12 and a half inches tall or deep. And then the opening would be about a little over 4 or 5 inches, but obviously, again, like I think the 4 inches is on the base. And that feels more like 6 inches to me, but who am I to judge? That's what their dimensions on the website said. It can fit a lot. I fit, like I said, I think I said this already, but my laptop, my yoga clothing, my wallet, which is a big fatty wallet, my headphones, my yoga towel, sometimes like an extra piece of clothing, like if my work outfit isn't okay for like post yoga, I'll like throw in a couple more pieces of clothing. I fit in a big water bottle, I can fit in lunch, I can fit in my toiletry bag, like there's just a lot that can fit in here. So yeah, so in terms of that, just great, and it's pretty big size, but like again, because it can fold up or extend out, that's kind of nice options. So yeah, I would say overall I am very happy after 6 months of use with this bag. Would I repurchase it? I would, and largely because of the style of the bag. I am just so in love with it from an aesthetics perspective, and it does work quite well for my needs that I would definitely repurchase it. I would like to see them add a pouch in, and I would like to see a little bit more detail and attention paid to this kind of hardware issue. But yeah, I would buy it. I do feel that the pricing is a little unfair given that the full leather version is $390 and this was $370, and that they get a little like more bang for their buck. So if you are kind of torn between this one and the full leather version and you are happy with the style of the full leather, then I would say you're going to get more for your money with that bag. Although I was told it's heavier, it's pretty heavy, this is pretty light. But that's full leather for you. So it just depends. Either they need to kind of drop the price on this, or they should, well, preferably they drop the price on this, but most likely they would probably raise the price on the full leather version. They also do have a mini version of this, not in the Tisse, not in this like cotton version, but in the full leather they have like a mini version if you are a smaller bag kind of person. So yeah, I would definitely say works great for my lifestyle, matches my aesthetic preferences, and I think price to quality ratio is fair. Again, I don't think this is a great bag if you are somebody who is needing to have a lot of organization in your bag, somebody who isn't going to be able to be diligent about taking care of the cotton, like if you're just like if messy and things are all over the place and you're just kind of you want a bag that you can just throw around and not care about, not your bag. And also if you're somebody who likes a bit more slouch, even though this is like very flexible and stuff, like it is a very structured bag. So if you're somebody who likes kind of that like hobo bag style, probably not the best bag for you. But yeah, I would say a 8.5 out of 10 in terms of bags, and definitely like one that I am happy that I purchased and would purchase again. If you have any questions that I haven't answered, please let me know. I will do my best to answer them in the comment section. And if there's anything else that you want to see, like if you want me to review the Polene Mini Un, there's so many reviews out there of that bag. I'm happy to do it, but I just feel like I wouldn't be adding anything to the conversation. But yeah, let me know what you're interested in, and I will do my best to give it to you. I hope you have a great day. See ya.